What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we are getting back into the top 5 emblems of the week. Now, I know it's been a really long time since I made one of these, and I'm really sorry for that, but today we've got 5 awesome emblems submitted by you guys, and if you would like to submit your emblem in the future, the way to do so is on Twitter. All you gotta do is send me a high-resolution screenshot. My Twitter link is down in the description, or you can just simply send it to @Inkslasher, and I check out all of the emblems, compile what I believe are the top 5 of that week, and I create a video for you guys. Speaking of which, all of the YouTubers who are in this video, their links are down in the description if you'd like to check any of them out. A lot of them do have tutorials on the specific emblems that I put in these videos, so all those links are down in the description. But without further ado, let's get into it and look at the top 5 emblems of this week. Coming in at number 5, we've got one by a guy named Fiery Fairy, and of course, this emblem is of Ted. Now, what I love about this one is, first of all, I think the art style did a really great job of nailing down what Ted is and how he looks in the movie. Right away, I could tell it was Ted, just not some random teddy bear, which I think is extremely well done. It kind of looks like he's sitting in the bathroom, and I'm not 100% sure what he's doing with his hands. If you look at Ted's right hand there, it kind of looks like he's shaving his belly, but I'm really unsure. That's the only reason why I didn't put this one higher on the list, is just because I'm not quite sure what he's doing. It kind of looks like he's smoking a cigar with his left hand and shaving his belly with his right hand. Not 100% sure, but if you think you know, let me know down in the comments. Up next, coming in at number 4, we have one by Angry Bulldog Gaming, and this, of course, is Starlord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, what's interesting about this one is it's kind of like a cartoonized version of Starlord, which is really cool to see because, of course, the movies we know are live action. We know Chris Pratt plays Starlord, but it's really cool to see him kind of take this, create it into almost like a cartoon, and give us like the kind of profile view of Starlord himself. I think it's incredibly well done. He did a great job on the shading on the side of the face. He did a great job of the outline of the mask itself, and even the background really does fit with the theme of Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think he did a really good job of that. And this week, I think hands down, was the hardest week to nail out what position these different emblems should be put into. So as always, let me know down in the comments which emblem you think deserves that number 1 spot, or you can even let me know what order I should have put them in. Up next at number 3, we've got one by iKing21, and this is of course Morty from the show Rick and Morty. Now, this is a pretty stereotypical drawing of Morty. It looks almost identical to how he looks in the cartoon, which is very impressive. But what really impressed me about this one is how he kind of made this look hand-drawn. And if I zoom in on the picture here and you look at kind of like the black outlines going around Morty, it almost looks like these were drawn with the pencil. You can see the lines themselves where the graphite was working from the pencil and where it wasn't. On top of that, the shading on Morty himself looks really fantastic, to the point, like I said, like he looks like he was drawn into the cartoon and just directly taken out of that. And that's why I was so impressed by this one. There's no background, there's nothing fancy going on with it. It just looks identical to that of the cartoon, which I thought was very, very impressive, and that's why it's on the top 5 list. And speaking of hand-drawn, this next one is by a guy named the Psycho HD, and this is Trump. Of course, love him or hate him, you have to admit, this looks identical to how Donald Trump looks. Now, why I'm so impressed by this one is because, as I mentioned, it looks like it was hand-drawn. It's kind of like a silhouette-esque drawn. It looks like someone took a dark-colored pen or a pencil and just drew this thing silhouette-wise, and I was just incredibly impressed by it with how simply he made it look exactly like Donald Trump. Everything from the hair or lack thereof to the way his face actually looks, his kind of grimacing impression, is just incredibly well portrayed in this drawing. I don't even want to call it an emblem because it looks so much like a drawing. Even the small amount of detail of the American flag pin on the man's suit is incredibly impressive. Not to mention the fact that Sledgehammer had to go ahead and let you know that there is no tolerance for toxic behavior on a Trump emblem, which is absolutely hilarious. But like I said, love Trump or hate him, you have to admit that this emblem looks exactly like him, and I was incredibly impressed by it. And coming in at number 1, we have one by the man himself, Vile Self, and this one is of course of Black Panther, a movie that's actually coming out pretty darn soon. Now, what really impresses me about this one, the main thing, is the lighting and shading on the helmet to make it look 3D, to make the ears of the Black Panther look actually 3D. And of course, it's a cool background. It's on the brick wall background, which makes it look that much more nice. But all in all, I just thought this one was incredibly well done. It looked very similar to how Black Panther looks in the cartoons. So just all in all, very impressive. massive. Now, the real question is do you think this one deserves the #1 spot? Let me know down in the comment section below which one of these emblems was your favorite, do you think is the best, and of course, as always, I'll be reading all of the comments. And even more, in the future, if you would like to submit your emblems or paint jobs when they're finally added into the game, the way to do so is to send them to me on Twitter. As I mentioned, that link is down in the description, or you can just send it at Inkslasher, and as I mentioned, I do check all of the emblems out myself, so feel free to send them to me over there. If you enjoyed the video, it'd be very greatly appreciated if you could hit that like button. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, you can hit that subscribe button. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.